The State of Israel held its first general election on the 25th of January, 1949. The Second World War was over, and just as predicted, the horrors of the Holocaust had forced the issue of Jewish statehood. In just the 3 years following the war's end, over 300,000 Jews fled Europe, overwhelming British attempts to stop Jewish immigration to Palestine and turning the issue over to the newly formed United Nations. The UN proposed dividing Palestine into Jewish and Arab states comprising mutual enclaves. Again, the Jewish National Council accepted the proposal, and again, the Arab delegation did not. So as the British formally withdrew on May 15, 1948, the Provisional Government declared independence as the State of Israel. Immediately, the former Palestine was invaded by Egypt, Syria, Jordan, and Iraq, but the Haganah and Irgun slowly managed to repel the invasions. In the midst of this, the right-wing Irgun turned against the left-wing Haganah, nearly causing a civil war. In response, the Haganah purged the Irgun once and for all and became the Israel Defense Forces, or IDF. By early 1949, the IDF had gone on the offensive, provoking negotiations for an armistice. And it was at this time that the Provisional Government called for elections. This was the first elections in which Arabs could vote. The Druze and Bedouin had actually sided with Israel in the War of Independence, while the other Arabs of the Galilee had received amnesty and early citizenship. To secure their vote, David Ben-Gurion established the Democratic List of Nazareth, an offshoot of Mapai. But to Ben-Gurion's chagrin, most Arab Israelis voted for the Israeli Communist Party, or Maki, and Ben-Gurion's rivals in Achdut HaAvodah merged with Poale Zion and Hashomer HaTzayir to form the United Workers' Party, or Mapam, led by Meir Yaari. Meanwhile, on the center and right, Menachem Begin abandoned Hatzoar, tainted by the threat of civil war, and formed the new conservative party, Herut. The Haredim, having accepted the reality of a Jewish republic, ended their electoral boycott and joined forces with the other religious parties to form the United Religious Front. There was only one problem. With so many new arrivals from Europe, how would hundreds of thousands of new voters be able to read their Hebrew language ballots? To solve this, each political party was assigned a letter or pair of letters from the Hebrew alphabet to make their ballots recognizable to non-Hebrew speakers. And because nothing is more temporary than a permanent solution, this is still how it works. And here are the results. Mapai won, with 46 out of 120 seats, followed by Mapam with 19, the United Religious Front with 16, and Herut with 14. All other parties received a combined 25 seats. Mapai and Mapam could have formed a left-wing majority government on their own, and to non-Israelis it might seem crazy that they didn't, but there were serious real-world policy differences between them. Mapam was pro-Stalin. Mapam also supported amnesty for nearly 700,000 Arabs displaced from Israeli-held territory in the early phases of the War for Independence, which Ben-Gurion feared would result in a Jewish state with an Arab majority. Instead, Ben-Gurion formed a broad government with the United Religious Front, the Progressive Party, the Sfaradim and Oriental communities, and the Democratic List of Nazareth. The United Religious Front joined the government on the condition that Haredi Jews receive special welfare benefits and be exempt from military service. Although Ben-Gurion and most members of the government were committed atheists, they obliged, as Haredi Judaism had nearly been driven to extinction by the Holocaust. On the 16th of February 1949, Chaim Weizmann, the Yeshuv's representative way back at the Treaty of Sèvres, was elected by the Knesset as Israel's first president, a position that had initially been offered to Albert Einstein of all people. Between February and July 1949, Israel signed a series of armistices with its neighbors, ending the War of Independence and confirming Israel's territorial extent. And a committee was established to draft a constitution for the new republic.